agricultural toxins, such as the infamous DDT, used after World War II as an agricultural insecticide, are known to have a wide range of environmental and human health problems. Short-term effects from toxins can be as mild as nausea or headaches, or can cause chronic and devastating conditions such as birth defects, nerve damage, endocrine disruption, reproductive harm, and even cancer. In addition to causing direct problems to human health, agricultural toxins can be devastating for the environment. The Environmental Protection Agency promises that the U.S. federal government carefully regulates pesticides to ensure that their use does not pose unreasonable risks to human health or the environment. But recent studies have shown that the use of pesticides can cause considerable health problems. For example, Harvard and Montreal University studies have linked exposure to pesticides with attention deficit disorder in children, and in children of women who have been exposed to organochlorine pesticides have a 6-fold increase factor for autism spectrum disorders. Another recent study done by the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry found children who live in homes where the family uses pesticides are twice as likely to develop brain cancer as children who live in homes where pesticides are not used. Pesticides consist of 3 main categories: herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides. Herbicides are used to kill plants or inhibit growth of a specific pest plant, and they are typically used in row crop farming. They can be applied directly onto foliage, soils, or directly into the aquatic system. As different herbicides in the environment mix together, the resulting mixtures can be up to 7 times more toxic to the environment than the 2 individual pesticides, and the result can have devastating consequences. Insecticides are used to control pests that infest cultivated plants or to eliminate disease-carrying insects in specific areas. They vary widely in effectiveness against target pests and are unfortunately toxic to non-target species as well. Many insecticides are made of substances composed of lead, arsenic, or copper, and are known to affect the nervous system. Fungicides kill or inhibit the growth of fungi that cause economic damage to crops or endanger the health of domestic animals and humans. They are applied as sprays and dusts. Copper and sulfur compounds have long been used for this purpose, but now synthetic organic compounds are available. The widespread use of pesticides, fungicides, and herbicides in American agriculture has an effect on everyone. Toxins from these chemicals are present in our air, food, and water. They directly affect the environments and ecosystems in which they are present, negatively influencing many species other than target pests. Pesticides cause water pollution due to the runoff of nitrogen-based fertilizers, and these same toxins in lakes may lead to algal blooms that can kill marine life. Toxins blown into the air cause air pollution that humans and animals breathe. So what can we do as a community to protect ourselves and our planet from negative effects of agricultural toxins? One action you can take today is to pay attention to where you get your food. By supporting local, sustainable, or organic farms in your community instead of buying from massive chain stores, you can actually talk to people who grow your food and ask them what they use to protect the crops from pests. Here at Guilford College in Greensboro, farmer Korey Erb is in charge of a 2-year-old sustainable farm. We interviewed him to ask what pests are present in the area and what measures he takes to control the damage.
I guess right now our biggest pests have been 2. One's a flea beetle, which we have figured out how to combat it, and we use a lot of row covers. So to this point, that's helped. We cover pretty much the salad mix in the summer right when we plant it. Same with the eggplant, and we leave those things covered until they're ready to go. One of the insecticides that you can use through the National Organic Program is Pyganic, which is a pyrethrum-based insecticide that's not as targeted or targeting as the spinosad, which is what we use. And it can have negative effects on bee populations. So it will affect things that aren't foliage feeders, which is not what we want to do. So especially since we have Rupel Olaf's bees here, that we have shied away from that and actually it's not part of our regimen at all, our integrated pest management regimen. But we have been thinking recently, It's just a loud place today. We have recently been thinking about finding kind of another sort of insecticide to use along with spinosad that isn't as harsh as the pyganic in order to keep from, breeding resistance. So we want to be able to switch it out every once in a while and not build these super bugs of squash bugs and things like that. So.
An additional benefit of reducing agricultural toxins is that biodiversity in animal populations will increase. Studies show animal species prefer living in organic farming regions versus traditional farms. A specific study found that on average, the increase in species richness was around 30% compared with conventional farming. Many species also congregate in these regions because of the increased number of bacteria found in the soils of organic farms. Another major positive aspect of reducing toxins through agriculture is that it can ultimately reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that is in the air. This can slow and possibly even reduce global warming. In examining the effects of agricultural toxins in our bodies and in our environment, it is clear that it's time to take responsibility and research more sustainable and conscientious ways of producing crops.